Hi, Ed Rushman with Whitestone Journal, out in the car this morning, thinking about cathedrals. When I took art history decades ago, they taught us that cathedral, I did not take this in a Catholic school, it was a state school, but they still talked about cathedrals. Said that a cathedral was meant to be kind of an expression of what's believed. And that, for instance, Gothic cathedrals kind of were upward pointing toward heaven. And the writer and monk Thomas Merton said that a cathedral is a summa. A summa is an attempt to explain everything that we believe in some way. The Summa Theologica from Thomas Aquinas is meant to express everything he believed, everything we believe. And of course, he acknowledged that was not possible at the end of his life, really. But the point is that the cathedral is supposed to be this. And so the truth is, for me, it's kind of funny. I went on a trip 10 years ago. It's the only time I've been to Europe, and saw Chartres Cathedral. And, sorry, traffic. And, you know, it was big and it was impressive. But, you know, for me, it was it also looked old and messy, and I don't know if you ever noticed, but it's asymmetrical. It's the two towers on what I guess is called the Vesper don't match. And it can be dark inside, depending on the day, of course. And, you know, I mean, it's not by mechanical standards, you know, like nowadays where I look at some thing that's been built, you know, some car part or something, you know, and it's all cleanly machined and very exact, and somebody would say very, very cold, but, you know, it is, there's a precision to it at a fine level. I mean, down to you know, thousandths or below thousandths of an inch sometimes. Sorry, a little bit of a digression. But anyway, so I was thinking about that, and at the same time, I will say, when I was in Rome and we went to Mass at one of the old churches there, it was, for me, a far more spiritual experience, far more beautiful, because it was very intimate. There were only maybe 20 people in. It was a very small chapel. And actually it was, well, I won't tell you all the rest, but basically it was a very, very nice experience. So I don't know, I guess I like small, intimate things more than the grand things. I like nice, tight, clean things rather than necessarily big, messy, irregular things. I don't know. I'm weird. But the point is, I thought about this, and in a lot of ways, that cathedral really does represent us better, our belief and our life better, necessarily than the small, clean things, because like a cathedral, like a Gothic cathedral, life is messy, life is big. It's not regular. And just for fun, go look up the wiki on Chartres, Chartres, and see what the history is on it. And I looked it up, and the towers, I guess I kind of knew this. I mean, I knew the towers were built at different times. The towers are built in different styles because things happened that essentially interrupted construction. And in one case, one of the towers was made of wood and burned. It was struck by lightning, and something completely unexpected came, destroyed it, and it had to be rebuilt, and this time they rebuilt it in stone. And that's an awful lot like our lives when you think about it. You know, we have a plan, some of us sometimes have a plan, and then we either run out of gas, we run out of materials, life happens. You know, it's, you go to do things, and then part of your life is oriented in one direction, and then all of a sudden something comes along and bam, and all of a sudden your life goes in some other direction. And when we look back at our lives, it probably looks more like a Gothic cathedral. Things don't match, things that are half finished, things are darker than they probably should be. There a lot of things that are in the original plan just didn't work out. Sometimes the materials we had to work with, we just do the best we can. Roads are not in good condition here, so you probably can hear all the rattling. You know, when I look at my own life and everything, I mean, wanted to be an astronaut or I wanted to be an engineer or something when I was young. Then I ended up going to school to be a veterinarian, and that didn't work out. And then I ended up in retail for 5 years, and that didn't work out. I mean, that actually worked out kind of, but I ended up having to I ended up going off and doing computers instead. Did that for a while and moved from different companies and kind of changed what my role was. And there's been times that were pretty tough. I mean, there's things involved in work and raising children and everything else that can be really hard. So it's just kind of like that, I look back on my life and it looks a lot more like a Gothic cathedral, maybe. Sorry, the animal mess. It looks more like a Gothic cathedral than I would. Hi. Than I would care to admit. But that really hit me today, and I thought that was worth sharing. So, Ed Rushman, Whitestone Journal. Have a good day.